welcome to Rally Pointe. Tonight we have the men's volleyball home opener here with the SAIT Trojans taking on the Red Deer Kings. So far this season, Red Deer is 1-0 through their first game. This will be their first away game, I believe, while the Trojans struggled while away 0-2. We'll have to see if they can bounce back at home here against the Kings. As we are getting into the starting lineup.
Volleyball action. Today's match features the Red Deer Polytechnic Kings and your very own SAIT Trojans. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem by Troy Chen.
The anthem wraps up and we begin to get into the starting lineups and quickly go over what makes both these teams tick. For the Trojans, I have a big thing for them being a change of the guard. Last year we saw a bit of a different team. Starting lineup for both squads. Like I said, a bit of a change of the guard for the Trojans. Multiple new players with two of their main stat categories being led by first years. Number 19, Gustavo Machado, leading the team in kills, and number 16, Dern Amuan, leading in assists. As for Red Deer, they have two players sitting comfortably over 10 kills on the season. After only one game, a big thing for them will be finding them, and that is both Noah Carlson and Carter Hills, both outside hitters. As we're going to see who gets to start with the ball here. Like I said, Trojans currently sitting at a record of 0-2 after having both their games being played away from home. We'll see maybe there'll be a bit of an advantage here in front of their home crowd, as it'll be the Trojans starting with the ball. That'll be Dern Amuan. And Dern Amuan has 0.4 service aces on the season so far. or he's been averaging more, so. As the Trojans get ready to get their first serve at home of the season. Here we go, they set it up. They'll send ties. They'll put in the air. For Machado, he'll tap it over, and there'll be a free play for Red Deer. Launching it down, and the Trojans are on the board at home. As they will start with the first point of this one off of the block. And something that might immediately stick out to you is the size the Trojans have up front, with both Machado being 6'6", Joshua Buda sitting at 6'5".
Serving number 3, Tom Watt.
As they get things set up after sending it into the net, they find Machado. Machado tries to tell the ref that maybe somebody else might have touched it on the way out, but he won't get heard. As the Kings will get the point on the out-of-bounds serve for the Kings there. That'll be Tom Wass. They'll send it far. It'll get received by Sosi. He gets sent out of bounds.
Serving number 1, Jackson Tice.
And Jackson Tice will get the chance to serve now. And it'll get sent a little bit too far.
Serving number 4, Carter Hill.
And now Carter Hill, who's second on the team in kills for the Kings, will get the chance to serve. He'll send a hard one out of bounds, and that'll be a service ace. And you will get that one right back. As we're seeing the Kings start to build a bit of a lead and a little bit of momentum here early in this first set. They'll send it far and a little bit out of bounds, and the Trojans will take the point.
Serving number 7, Joshua Buda.
And we're going to see Joshua Budak getting his first serve as a Trojan. A new player to the ACAC. He'll send his first serve at home here at Rally Point. They'll get knocked down. And right there at the wall will be Spencer Purdy, the 6'8" middle blocker. And Spencer Purdy will take the serve himself, as they are currently leading by 5-3. They'll end up sending it far. They'll get put in the air. Tapped up. And a bit of a mistake by the Kings lets the Trojans back into it, as they are now just down by 1, as we'll be seeing Gustavo Machado taking the serve here. Machado currently does not have a service ace yet on the season. That one will get popped up. They'll set up none other than Noah Carlson, the leader in the team in kills, as he'll get one right there to start off strong for the Kings, keeping that 2-point lead alive. And he'll take the serve now. Sending it far, popped up into the air, and put into the wall. They'll try again. That time it'll work. That'll be Sousy. Put in the air, finds Tice. Sousy puts it back up. Once again, that'll be Machado. But it'll go out of bounds, and Red Deer will put their lead up to 3, putting it up to 7-4. That'll be Carlson getting the chance to serve once again. As he'll send one that barely gets over the wall. A nice move there Nearly puts the Trojans on the board, but not quite able to make it work. And that'll be Logan Williams at the fence, able to knock it down. And the Trojans are only down by 2. Logan Williams will take it himself just outside of the Trojans zone for a serve. One of the better servers on the team last year, returning player. It's his 3rd year. He'll end up sending it. It'll hit the netting to make it over. Tapped across. Sousey keeps it up. And just a little bit too much on that one, as that'll be Ties throwing it out of bounds. And Nicholas Possingham, the 6'7" outside hitter, with the chance to serve now from South Australia. He'll end up sending it far. Logan Williams tries to keep it in. Not quite able to, as the Trojans are falling behind a little bit to start off this one. Red Deer has come into Rally Point with quite a bit of momentum. As Possingham will get the chance to serve once again, sending it over, and a beautiful serve finds the back right corner and will beat Jackson Tice. Possingham gets another chance at it. It'll get popped up. Setting up Jackson Tice, who will put it right down and bring the Trojans back within 4.
Serving number 12,
Bonson Essa, the 2nd-year player, didn't get a lot of time out on the court in his first season, but has already made quite the impact so far for the Trojans. That one drops right in the middle and puts Red Deer up by 5 once again.
Serving number 18,
As Dylan Gossie will end up getting the serve here. It'll go far, popped up in the air. Setting up Tice, not able to make it work, and Red Deer will get a chance now. They'll tap it over, and that'll be Sousey not quite able to keep that one in the air. And once again, that'll be Dylan Gossie with the serve. And goes right out of bounds, and the Trojans are back trailing only by 5. As they are going to end up sending Dean Abuman. Amuan will end up getting the serve here. He will send it just off the net, setting up the attack. They bounce off the wall, and a beautiful block brings the, or no, sorry, that was my bad. That one's gonna end up going out of bounds afterwards, and Red Deer will retain the ball, putting them up now by 6. Trojans setting up once again, putting it far, and they'll give it to him, saying it went off of a Red Deer King. And there's a beautiful spike by Joshua Buda. Brings the Trojans just a little bit closer, and Jackson Tice will end up taking it. He'll take the serve. With a high one into the netting. Not quite able to make that one work. As Carter Hills will get the chance to serve now. He'll send it far. It'll get popped in the air. With a chance, Logan Williams gets it rejected right at the wall and not quite able to make it over. Carter Hills will once again get the chance to serve here for the Kings. He'll end up sending it right into the netting.
Serving number 7, Joshua Budak.
And Joshua Budak will once again get the chance to serve, the third-year student. He'll send a high one. Ooh, goes off of the coach's clipboard there. The coach looked like managed to remain calm after that one. Cool as a cucumber after getting hit right in the leg with that one. So we're going to see Spencer Purdy get the chance to serve now for the Kings. He'll send it right over, popped in the air, setting up. Machado not able to put it down. Gets sent over, kept in the air. They'll choose to set up Williams, who's able to tap it over and straight down. And Williams has his second kill already of this set. As the Trojans currently down by 6. It's still definitely in this one. And we'll see Richard High. Christoph Meyer will also come into the game for Gustavo Machado. He'll send it long and far, but just a little bit too far. It'll be a Kings point here. So we're going to see them start to bring in some subs. That will be Tom Loss coming on for Brett Tisey. As Brett Tisey will end up taking it for the Kings. Currently up by 7, 6 away, or 8 away. Not very close on the map there, but only 8 away from walking out of here. Now 7, a little bit closer now to 6. Just 7 points away from walking out with the first set. As we'll see Brett Tice, the fourth-year setter, taking it once again so far on the season. He only has 1 service ace, averaging 0.25 per set. They send a long one, popped in the air by Williams, set up by High, given to Essa, and straight out of bounds. And the Trojans are only down by 7 after that beautiful play there for the kill.
Serving number 10, Logan Williams.
And Logan Williams will set up now for the serve as the Trojans start to try and make a comeback. They set it up. High puts it in the air for Williams. Williams. They set it up once more for Williams. He'll have to just toss it over. And here they go. They'll set it up. And a nice reach. They're going to end up giving it to the Trojans, saying he reached over the netting. Nearly a very nice play by Brett Lower. The Trojans now only, after 2 points in a row, are only down by 6. Logan Williams will take it now. He'll clear the netting right into the hands of Red here. They'll set it up once more. Try and set up. That'll be Nathan Tice. They're going to give that one to the Kings. And the leader in service aces for the Kings, Nicholas Possingham, will take it here. Currently averaging 1 every 2 sets. We'll send a long one. Already has 1 in this set earlier in the game. And that'll bring their point total up to 20, only 5 away from taking this first set. As Possingham will set up once again. Puts a little bit too much on that one.
Pointe, Trojans.
The Trojans only trailing by about 7 points now.
Number 12, Bonson Essa.
Second year Bonson Essa will take it now. He'll load up and launch it. Will stay in bounds. They will set it up, and right there to put her down is Dylan Gossie.
Substitution for the Kings on it. One Zachary Neufeld.
And Bonson Essa will leave the game in favor of Dominic Sousey. Zachary Neufeld will take it now. He'll send it over. Popped in the air by Williams. Too high and nearly put down. Myers not able. Myers right there. He puts it back up. Williams is there. And that actually was Buda able to knock it down. So we're going to see Gustavo Machado coming in now, as well as Deem Amouan. As Amouan will come on and immediately take the serve for the Trojans now. Trojans 4 away from losing this first set. We'll have to see if they can potentially start and build something up, make a comeback. And a long one goes a little bit too far and puts the Kings just 3 away from taking this first set. They're going to be making a change. Brett Lower is coming out for number 3, Tom Wass. And they will also bring him back into the game. Noah Carlson started the game for the Kings. Was taken out earlier in the set and is returning to potentially help them get that last 3 points. Tom Wass once again with the serve. As the Trojans get the point there after hitting the wall.
Serving number 15,
Nathan Tice taking it now for the Trojans. They'll send a high one. Not able to clear the netting. And they are only 2 points away now. So that'll be Carter Hills taking it now. Sending it over, popped in the air by Sousey. And they're going to choose to switch out Sousey for Giles, the second-year libero. They'll send it across, popped in the air, pucks clean over. They'll try and keep it in, won't be able to. And the Kings will take the first set, going up 1-0. We'll have to see if the Trojans can respond in the second set. I'll be back with you with that one in just 3 minutes.
A reminder that next Friday the Trojans will be taking on the
And as we quickly approach the second set of this men's home opener here at Rally Point, can quickly get into what happened in that first set. The Trojans managed to start off hot against Red Deer, but weren't able to hold on to it. Red Deer would quickly take the lead and hold on to it for the rest of that first set. We're going to have to see what the Trojans do to respond after a fairly lopsided second half of that set. Maybe it'll do a little bit of inspiring to the starting Trojans squad here. Serving for Red Deer will be Tom Wass, one of the 2 players for Red Deer from South Australia. I was looking at my notes earlier and saw that and was wondering if it was a bit of a coincidence. Just a little bit of an interesting note there as we start the second set. Nathan Tice there, able to knock it over. Noah Carlson puts it in the air. That's Machado. Carlson will beat him to it. And it appeared that the Trojans thought that it was their point. I was even wondering myself when Machado started celebrating after that play, very clearly thinking he scored it, and then Jackson Tice started walking back expecting the serve. It was very clear that entire Trojan squad thought it was their point. As we are going to end up seeing the referee calling Williams over to the nothing will end up changing about the outcome of that play after the conversation. Tom Wass once again getting the serve. Williams puts it in the air. Over to Nathan Kais with a nice move. They'll keep it in the air, off the hands. And they'll give it right back to Red Deer once again with Wass. The chance to maybe keep building this momentum for Red Deer. Starting the second set up by 2. They knock it over. Tice puts it in the air. Sent back to Tice. It will get kept in the air by a beautiful dive. Not able to make much of it. As that was Tom Wass laying it all out on the line to keep it in the air.
Serving number 1, Jackson Tice.
Jackson Tice getting it once again. Sending a high one, puts it out of bounds up the back, and Red Deer will go up 3-1. And this one's going to go to Carter Hills. Has 2 service aces on the season prior to tonight. We'll send it over, kept in the air, giving it to Nathan Tice, who puts it up and puts it right down to bring the Trojans right back into this one. He'll be taking the serve now.
Serving number 7, Joshua Budo.
And that was Joshua Buda. That's my bad. He'll end up getting the serve. And a lot of power on this one, but puts it right into the netting. As that was Nicholas Possingham. Once again, that will be Joshua Buda with the chance to serve now for the Trojans. They'll lay it all out, put it a little too far. And Red Deer will get it right back now with giving Spencer Purdy,
Number 17, Spencer Purdy.
the middle hitter. They'll set it up into the netting. And the Trojans will get that one right back, tying things up here at Rally Point at 4. Gustavo Machado will be getting it now. He loads it up, sending it across, tapped in the air. They'll set up the spike. The Trojans won't be able to keep it up. And that one will get put right down.
Number 14, Noah Carlson.
Noah Carlson will get it back now. Already had quite a few kills in that first set. In his first game with Red Deer this season, he had 3 per set. We'll have to see if he can match that once again here at Rally Point, as that was Bronson Essa putting that one straight down, tying things up at 5.
Number 10, Logan Williams.
Logan Williams will take the serve here. Third-year outside player gets the service ace for the Trojans, giving them their first lead of the second half, as that is his second on the season so far for the Trojans. Prior to this game, he was averaging 0.2 service aces, so about 1 every 5 sets. Will get launched in the air for Noah Carlson. He'll send it long. Machado there, giving it. Jackson Tice blocks it, and they'll give the point to the Trojans, who are starting to build a lead, up by 2. Logan Williams with the chance to serve again. Just had a service ace. See if he can maybe give just a repeat performance here. And Logan Williams, pocket aces. That's 2 service aces back to back. As through 2 serves in the second set, he has doubled, more than doubled, tripled the amount of aces he had on the year. He'll send one long. That one, maybe a little bit too far, and he'll let the Kings right back into it on that one. Now we'll have to see what Possingham can do to respond. Once again, leading the Kings in service aces, already has 1 in this one. He'll send a hard one off the netting. Tice puts it in the air. Finds Machado, who sends it long and off the corner. And the Trojans build their lead back up to 3. And that'll be Bonson Essa. Essa sending it far. They'll keep it in the air. That's Carlson. And that'll go off the hands of Logan Williams. And with a chance to serve now, that's Dylan Gossi. The chance to serve. They'll send it right to Tice. Put in the air. Logan Williams right there. They'll put it back up. They'll set up Carlson. Machado keeps it in the air. To Sousey. Finds Tice, who decides to toss it over. Red Deer keeps it in the air. Carlson puts it back up. They'll set it up again. And that will be Purdy at the wall to put it down and bring them within 1. The Trojans currently still leading, like I said, by 1. Score is 9-8. As that will be number 18, Dylan Gossi, taking it once again. The 6'8" middle hitter. Again, put back in the air for Tice. On the line, will it go? And it will. The Trojans rebuild their lead a little bit with that, as it is 10-8 now. As now it will go to number 16, DM Amuan. With the chance to serve, leads the Trojans in 6. They'll go too high, and that is a service ace for the Trojans, 3 in the set. Already had 2 on the season prior to that one, as he continues to stack them up. They'll send it. They'll set it up for Spencer Purdy, who puts it right down, and Red Deer is back within 1.
Serving number 3,
Tom Wass will take it now. Setting it up. Tice. 2. Tice. And it will end up being a point for the Trojans after the referee says it goes off of a King. And Jackson Tice now will get the chance to serve. Led the Trojans in service aces prior to this one with 2. They'll launch it. It'll end up going into the netting though. Carter Hills with it now. A lot of kills on the season for him. Ends up putting it right out the back, putting the Trojans up by 3, 13-10 in this second set. The Trojans have took the lead from the Kings early in this one and have held onto it. Serving with it now will be number 7, Joshua Budok. He's had quite a good home opener performance. He'll send it over to Carlson. Bounces up, nearly hits a light, just barely missing. To Essa. Will get kept in the air. They'll set it up once again to Passingham, and it goes off of a Trojan and out of bounds. And they are back within 2. Taking it now will be Spencer Purdy. We'll send it across, get popped in the air by Tice. Right to Machado, and right off of the hand of Purdy, and the Trojans are back up by 3. As that'll be right to Machado with the chance to keep on building this Trojans lead. He's had quite a few kills. I believe that is the second or third of this second set already. Doing an excellent job. They'll end up putting it up. They'll give it back to the Trojans, and that will be Guillaume Amiouan with an incredible play to put the Trojans up by 4 and put the ball back in the hands of Machado with the chance to potentially keep building their lead. But first, the Kings will call a timeout, and we'll have to see what Aaron Shula can do to try and maybe set this Kings team back up for success. The score is 15-11. Trojans did a really good job building their lead and so far holding on to it. Kings obviously still holding on, but they've done a good job keeping usually around 3 or 2. They've had quite the cushion so far, especially at this current moment, at about 4 points. So far the Trojans have, despite leading, have struggled a little bit containing the taller players on this Kings squad. Noah Carlson and Spencer Purdy come to mind right off the bat. We'll have to see if maybe they can improve on that as this one keeps on going, as they definitely do have a bit of a size advantage on the Trojans, who are still fairly tall up front, but don't quite have anyone to match the height of players like Spencer Purdy and Dylan Gossi. The closest thing they probably have would be Gustavo Machado, who sits at a height of 6'6", but has had done a fairly good job defensively so far in this one. Despite the size advantage, he'll end up putting that one into the netting, and Noah Carlson will take it. Carlson with it now. He'll send it. He'll get popped up by Williams. Williams sends it to Machado, and off the hands and out of bounds once again. That'll be another excellent play by him, as he is living up to that 3 kills per set that he had shown in the previous 2 games for the Trojans. Logan Williams setting up with it now. See what he can do with it. 2 service aces so far. They get popped up and put down by number 18, Dylan Gossi, as that breaks the Trojans' lead down but to 3. As they're going to give that one right to Passingham. Already has a service ace in this one. See what he can do with it. And a bit too much on that one. And the Trojans' lead goes back up to 4. As they're going to send Essa back to serve. Popped in the air. We'll send it across. Essa not able to put that one back up. And the Kings come back within 3. As we're going to see a sub here, as that'll be Essa coming out for Dominic Soucy. And we're going to be seeing Zachary Newford coming in for Dylan Gossi with the chance to serve. See what he can do with it. He'll send it across. Popped up by Tice. They'll set up Tice and off of the wall and right back down. And the Trojans lead goes back up to 4. Only 7 away from walking out of this set and tying the Kings 1-1. That'll be Diam Amuran with the chance to potentially get another service ace. Had one earlier in the second set. Quite a few for the Trojans so far in this one. They've done an excellent job serving. Maybe I spoke too soon on that one. Those will end up going right out of bounds. As now they'll give that one to Tom Wass. They start to potentially build a comeback. Tice puts it in the air, sends it. They'll get blocked. Machado, despite the jump, wasn't quite able to get there. And Soucy wasn't able to either. As Wass will get the chance to serve again. His squad only down by 2. 18-16 is the score. They set up Williams off the hands. Will they keep it up? No, they won't. As the Trojans go right back to being up by 3. As that is Tice with the serve now. Feels like we've been seeing him all over the court for the Trojans so far in this one. He'll send it across. Popped up. Wass finds Purdy and puts it down. And Carter Hills will get the chance to serve now. They'll load it up and launch it. Popped in the air by Williams. Kept up, and that'll get put down by Budak. Not for long, though. Sent over, and coming up was Carter Hills to put that one straight in the dirt and bring the Kings from 1 away from tying. Carter Hills with it now once again. They'll launch a long one. Kept in by Susi. Put in the air. Machado. They will give that one to the Kings. Seemed like they weren't sure at first whether number 6, Nicholas Possingham, would end up touching it, but he wouldn't. And that'll be a timeout for the Trojans after the Kings tie it at 19. We have had quite the second set so far, as despite the Trojans building quite an early lead in that set, the Kings were able to make a comeback, and we'll definitely be getting a very interesting ending here with both teams only 6 away. We'll have to see what both teams do to try and shut down the other's offense. The Trojans have done an excellent job serving, as that's probably been their strongest point. While I would definitely say the Kings have been also doing a pretty good job serving as well. I think I'd definitely give it to their front line, who have done an excellent job keeping the Trojans at bay. And as the final seconds of this timeout unwinds, we just have to see how this second set ends up going. As if you're the Kings, obviously going up 2-0 on the Trojans would be big, especially when you're playing away and in Calgary. And for the Trojans, winning this set could be crucial. Going down 2 sets to a team like the Kings could end up being quite hard to come back from. That'll be Williams. They'll go off the wall and out of bounds, and the Trojans take the first lead after the timeout, 20-19, as they are going to end up giving it to Joshua Budak. Budak will send it, And he won't be able to put it in. It is 20-20. Either team only needs 5 to potentially take the set. As we're going to see some subs. For the Kings, coming in is Colby Nemeth. For the Trojans, we're going to see Essa coming in. Nemeth will hit the netting, and Spencer Purdy will immediately take him right back out. And that'll be Machado taking it now. Trojans only need 4. Let's see what Machado can pull out of his bag of tricks to try and make that happen. They'll throw it up, toss it over. They'll pop it into the air, and put down. That right there was Nicholas Possingham, who's having quite the game. A 6'7" third year. We're going to see Noah Carlson walk up and put it in the air. Williams pops it up. Sent back to Williams. It's a little too much on it, and the Kings decide to go up by 1. They only need 3 to potentially go up 2-0 on the Trojans. Trojans pop it up. Sousey with it to Williams. Off the wall, they'll keep it here, and they'll decide to send it long. Carlson puts it up, give it to Wasp. Nice little tap. They'll set up Williams again, who decides to tap it over, and they are 2 away now. As they start to build a lead, and after being down on the Trojans all set long, it looks like the Kings might have a chance to rob this one. As we are going to see Noah Carlson take this one once again from Sylvan Lake. Not too far outside of Red Deer. Carlson will wait for the end of this conversation between the referee and Carter Hills. That'll be Noah Carlson. He'll set up, get the walk up and send it. He'll get knocked up by Tice. Given to Williams. He'll tap it over and knock it down, and the Trojans only trail by 1. And who else would you want it in the hands of than Logan Williams, with the chance to potentially tie things up. Already has 2 aces, pocket aces if you will, after in this second set. He'll send it over. And they'll put it down. Red Deer only needs 1. We'll see what the Trojans decide to do about it. And they're going to put the ball in the hands of Nicholas Possingham with the chance to potentially ice the second set. Possingham will send it far. They'll keep it in the air. Send it to Essa. They put it down. They keep it up. And they'll give the point to Red Deer. Despite a lot of commotion, it looks like they're going to end up saying, the ref will end up giving it back, saying redo the play. As the score is still 24-22. A lot of confusion on the court after that one. I wasn't even quite sure what the call would end up being. But that means Possingham once again has the chance to ice it. Second try will hit the netting, and the Trojans aren't dead yet. As they'll put the ball in the hands of Essa with the chance to potentially break back into this one.
Ready! Be ready!
Bronson Essa sends it over. They'll set it up for Carlson, who will end up putting it down, but out of bounds, and the Trojans tie things up at 24. And this just got a lot more interesting, as now either team needs 2 straight points to potentially win it. Essa will serve, sending it far over. That's Wasp for Hills, who puts it far, and the Trojans have 25. They need 1 more, and they're putting it in the hands of Essa. Red Deer will make a timeout though, as Pointe and Essa, after this timeout, will have the chance to potentially win this set for the Trojans. We'll see what they decide to do. We're seeing a lot of tired bodies on that Red Deer bench. Most players who are starting out there opting to sit down. To see if maybe the Trojans might be able to take advantage of it and maybe, just maybe, steal this second set and tie things up at 1-1 here at Rally Point, and even get new head coach Grant O'Gorman his first set win here at Rally Point. We'll see what happens as the Trojans line back up. The Kings will meet them at the line, and that will do it for the timeout. We are right back here in the second set. The score is 25-24. The ball is in the hand of Pointe and Essa with a chance to finish things off in this second set. He'll send it over. Easily clearing. The Trojans beat up the wall, and they steal the second set, tying things up here at Rally Point 1-1. The final score of that set was 26-24. We'll be right back with you for the third set, as this thing just got a lot more interesting. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
I do. Yeah, I'm very lucky. Yeah.
Welcome back to the action here at Rally Point as both teams finish off their little bit of a break in between sets and start to line back up. We can quickly break down that second set as the Trojans managed to lead throughout leading up to the point where it was the Kings were 1 point away before walking out of that set with the win. The Trojans were able to crawl back and beat them in a bit of an overtime period after that. And things are tied back up now at 1-1. Getting the first ever set win here or first regular season set win, I should say, for head coach Grant O'Gorman. As we'll see who ends up getting it. I believe the Kings will be starting with the first serve, if memory serves me right. Oh, it doesn't, as the Trojans will be getting it now. That will be Dime Amuan getting it now with the serve. He's going to load up and send it real quickly here. Off the netting and out of bounds. And the Kings will take it now with the chance to serve. They'll be handing it off to Evan Ackerman, his first serve here at Rally Point tonight. He is a third year from Elk Point. He'll send it across, popped up by Williams. Not in the right direction though, as Red Deer looking to start building a little bit of momentum early in this one. As that was, by all technicalities, a service ace there for Evan Ackerman. Sending it up. As that one ends up dropping once again off the hands of Williams, and back to back for Ackerman. We saw Williams get what I was calling pocket aces in the last one. There's Ackerman doing the same. Doing a little bit of, if you can do it, I can do it better. As that one goes right behind Pointe and Essa, and the Trojans are quickly falling behind as the Kings have shown up to play here in the third set. As we are going to have to see Evan Ackerman see what he can do here as the ball once again, 2 aces in this setup. Not able to get that one. Pointe and Essa will send it over. They'll set him up. Carlson, who will knock it down, finding the corner, and already a timeout early in this one, as that will be Grant O'Gorman deciding to call it for the Trojans early, with them going down 5-0 early in that first set. Not the start you want, obviously, and they'll take a second to talk about it and replan, as that was an explosive offense we just saw from the Kings. We'll see what the Trojans can do to respond after the timeout, as we have seen Carlson sniping the edges of the zone all night. Came into this one averaging 3.2 kills per set and already has 16 on the season. But by my math, he has had to have cleared 20 on the season already through 2 sets of this one, as I think he is already averaging much higher than 3.2 sets, or 3.2 kills per set now. Now we'll do it for the timeout. Trojans start to line up again here. Bringing out the same lineup they entered the timeout with. They'll set things up. Ackerman has bested Williams twice already. Won't find Williams that time though. Sends it off of Gustavo. Ties will take it. Gustavo decides to send it over. And Carlson puts it into the hands. That's Tice. Logan Williams decides to tap it over. That's Wass knocking it into the air. Carlson again puts it up. Trojans keeping the ball alive. That's Tice. Sent back. They'll put it up. And Carter Hills puts the Kings up by 6, as the Trojans are quickly falling behind a speeding offense by the Kings. They'll put it into the air. And that will be 3 service aces not in a row, but in about like 5 serves, which is almost as impressive to say the least. As they will set it up, they'll send it over once again. That'll be Williams retrieving it. Send over to Tice. They'll keep it in the air. And Carlson ends up losing their streak. And the Trojans finally are on the board. We'll see if maybe that cracks the armor of the Kings and maybe makes them a little bit less invincible than we've seen them so far in this set. Won't be yet though, as Tice puts it out the back, and the Kings are leading 8-1. Noah Carlson will take it now. Already has a couple kills in this one. We'll see what he can do from the serve. Logan Williams puts it in the air. That'll be Machado, able to get the kill off of the hands of the defender there, putting the Trojans back on the board. That'll be Essa coming into the game. He'll load up and serve it. Soft one, straight for the middle. That'll be Wass, finds Carlson. And he'll get it. Carlson easily already has 3 kills out of these 9 points for Red Deer. An impressive feat, to say the least, from the 6'6" outside hitter. They'll send it over and out of bounds, and the Trojans have their 3rd point. Element Machado coming in. They'll take the serve.
Serving number 19, Gustavo Machado.
Doesn't have a service ace on the season yet. They'll send it over, pop it in the air. Ooh, that went off a couple people, and the Trojans will get it. As they are breaking back into this one, not letting the Kings leave them behind quite yet. Machado will take it. It'll go out of bounds. And Dylan Gossie with it now. See what he can do with it. Sending it. Kept up by Tice. Popped up. Williams. And they will get it right on that line. An impressive strike there. And Logan Williams will come in now. Had an impressive second set from the serving department. That one looked good as well. He'll send it over. That'll be Carlson. Wass puts it in the air. They set up Tice, who puts it right back up off of the hands of Budok with a chance. Williams isn't able to save it, and the Kings go up by 7. As we will be seeing Tom Wass take the serve for the Kings now. He'll send it across, popped up by Williams. And Tice with a soft little touch, but it's kept up. And set a campfire in the Trojan zone and go up by 8. They'll set things up once again. Center cross, and that'll be Jackson Tice sending it out of bounds there. Tom Wass with the chance to serve once again. The 4th-year student. Popped up, kept in. That's Tice off the hands. And a little bit of an argument from the Kings there. From my angle, I can say with fairly good confidence, I think it did go off the hands. But I guess we'll see what the conversation between the referee and, I believe that's Tom Wass. Looks like nothing will end up changing. That'll be Joshua Budok. I have a pretty good angle on where that ball would have been hit, and I have to say the hand definitely did get very close. So if it didn't touch, it was, I do not blame the ref for thinking it did, because I definitely did think that. As he will knock it off of the netting, the Trojans crawling back in this one, only down by 6, which considering the lead that they fell off against early in this one is quite the feat as they continue to break back into this one. Joshua Budok, the 3rd year from Brandon, Manitoba. Will get put in the air for Carlson, who puts her down, and they are at 15 to the Trojans 7. And they'll be sending Dante Furlan out to serve. Dante Furlan sends it. Williams pops it up. And Machado, they somehow keep it alive despite nearly hitting the roof. They'll send it over. That's Sousey. Sent to Tice, who puts it down right in the middle of the King zone and brings the Trojans back within 6. And they're going to end up giving this one to Diem Amuan. We'll see what Amuan can pull out here. They'll send it over. A strong serve there, but just a little too far. As the Kings will get the chance to serve now, they're going to send back Evan Ackerman, the man who was able to start off this set incredibly impressively with 3 service aces, not quite in a row, but back to back to back. And Machado makes sure it doesn't happen twice, quickly ending his.
Serving number 1, Jackson Tice.
And that'll be Jackson Tice taking it now. The Trojans still just out of the game by 6. We'll see what Tice has to say about it as he'll send one. And it'll go out of bounds. Kings now only 9 points away from taking this third set. It's been quite a dominant set by the Kings. They have definitely put down their foot on this Trojans team, and we'll have to see what the Trojans can do to try and potentially make a comeback. That's Brett Ticey. Ticey loads up and fires. Meets Sosi. Give it to Essa, and out of bounds off the hands of Gossi. And that'll be Essa to serve now. Trojans once again down by 6.
Serving for the Trojans, number 12, Boston Essa.
Essa will get popped up. Given 2. That was Dylan Gossi who ends up putting it out of bounds, and the Trojans are back within 5. Essa will end up going right back with the chance to serve once again. Essa sending it over, popped up, given, off the wall, they'll keep it going, finds Carlson, and that'll go out of bounds, and the Trojans are breaking back into this one, down by 4, they've been down by a lot more, let's see what they have now. That one goes right off the net as they are back within 5. Colby Nemeth will end up taking it now. He's a 3rd year. Popped up by Sousy. Popped up again. Machado. And off the hand. And out of bounds. The Trojans back within 4. They're going to give it to Machado to see what he's got to potentially pull them back into this one. Machado sends it over. Met. He'll send it over. Williams pops it up. Sent down. Not quite able to get it. With another chance. Popped up again. Machado puts it in the air. Williams putting it down. He'll set up once more. But that will be Brett Lower spiking it right in the middle of the Trojan zone to put them once again up by 5 with just 7 points being between them and the victory in this 3rd set. And Zachary Newfield will take it once again, the 3rd year from Edmonton. Popped up by Williams. Given right back to Buda, who gets the point there. It'll end up taking quite a few bounces before getting there, but it doesn't matter as long as that point's on the board. And the Trojans, once again, I feel like I've said this a couple times now, are back within 4. Let's see if they can potentially crack it down to 3. And that'll be Logan Williams taking it. He's had an excellent match so far from the serving department. He'll load up and put it into a bad position for the Kings. And it will result in a score. The Trojans are within 3. As we'll see what Williams can bring out here to potentially bring the Trojans down within only 2. As they've been chasing ever since the Kings got that early lead. They'll get popped up. Sent down. And it'll go to the Kings. I wasn't sure on that one. as that will be Noah Carlson getting the chance to come into the game now. Serving for them will be Tom Loss, as they are now only 4 points away. We'll see what the Kings have to say about it and potentially taking those points back. Williams pops it up. They'll find Tice, who brings them back within 3. The Trojans are right back in it.
Serving for the Trojans, 7, Joshua Lugo.
They'll load up and fire. Sending it to Carlson, who puts it down to put the Kings up to 20 points on the set, and they are 5 away from the set win. They set it up. That'll be Dante Furlan sending it into the net there, bringing the Trojans back within 3. They aren't out of it yet. Let's see what they can do with it. That's Diam Amuan with it now, with the chance to serve. They'll send it over. Popped up. They'll set it up. Carlson finds the back corner. And that is 4 now. And they'll put it in the hands of the man who started it all this set. That'll be Evan Ackerman. As they are 4 points away, he'll send it over. Williams pops it up. He'll find Tice, who puts it down. And the Trojans are back in this one. They are down by 3. Tice with the serve. As he'll take his time loading up. Follows the ball, sends it over. They'll pop it in the air. That's Wass. Given with a chance now. Tice pops it up. That's Williams. And that one will be a point for the Kings, who are now 3 away. Putting it in the hands of Noah Carlson, the team leader in kills. Sending it over. Off of the hands of Williams, and Carlson will end up getting his 3rd service ace of the season in a pretty important moment, as they are currently 2 away. Sending it over, popping it up, sent to Machado, who puts it down once again, and the Trojans are right back within 4, as they're going to give it to Bonson Essa with a chance to potentially keep them in this one. They are only 2 away from losing this set. Let's see what they can do about it. Essa will load up and fire, and will go off, and Bonson Essa has the service ace. That one will end up being his 2nd of the season. And as he brings the Trojans up to 20 points, only trailing by 3. They need 5. Let's see what he can do. He'll send it over. Popped up. Given to Wass. To Carlson. Popped up again. Given to Essa. As they'll end up getting another chance. That's Wass. Back to Carlson. But Carlson won't make it work that time, as that'll go into the netting. And the Trojans only trailing by 2, just barely on the outside. That'll be a Kings timeout to try and calm things down a little bit, as they have slowly let the Trojans back into this one. And if you remember back to the beginning of this game, the Kings led by 7. And the Trojans have crawled back slowly throughout this entire match and are right back in this one. We'll just have to see what they can do. They need 4 points, while the Kings only need 2. There'll be tough, but it's not impossible. We saw them do similar in the second set. Let's see what Coach O'Gorman is drawing up for the Trojans as time unwinds on this timeout. They're moments away from potentially either making a big comeback or dropping this third set and having to play from behind for the fourth. Let's see what the Trojans can do. Essa will have the ball in his hand. Had his second service ace of the season, not just moments ago. He'll load up and fire, sending it across. Received. Wasp off of Newfield. He'll keep it in the air with a chance. Machado, but it will go off of Machado there. And the Trojans are one away from leaving this third set without the win. Colby Nemeth with it now. He has the chance to finish off the Trojans in this third set. He'll launch it over, popped out by Southey, and that will do it. For the third set, the Kings take it 25-21 off of the service ace by number 11, Colby Nemeth. Like I said, that'll do it for the third set. We'll be right back for the fourth in only 3 minutes. And with the clock ticking down on this break between the third and fourth set, the Trojans are currently down 1-2, with the Kings winning that third set like we just saw, taking it after a near comeback from the Trojans. The Kings were able to manage to stabilize and win it. We'll see how the Trojans respond. Obviously going down 7-0 to start off that third set. I'm assuming that will not be their goal going into this one. The bar isn't necessarily set high if you're Coach O'Gorman, but I'm sure the Trojans will be trying to absolutely blow that bar out of the water with their start here. As it will be the Kings starting with it. That will be Evan Ackerman, the man who started the third set for the Kings and got 3 service aces impressively. He will load up and take it himself. Launching it across, popped up by Williams. Sent to Machado, but that'll be Carlson rejecting him on the spot. Not quite able to pull it off. And the Kings will go up. Evan Ackerman getting the chance to try again now. He'll launch it. Sent over. Williams right there. Popped up and sent down by number 7, Joshua Budok. And the Trojans immediately make sure that that 7-point scoreless streak at the beginning of that third set won't be happening again, as that will be Jackson Tice taking it. Right down, Jackson Tice with another service ace in this one. As that makes, I believe, his 4th of the season, leading the Trojans in service aces. As he will once again start to load right back up, knocking it over. And keep it in the air, that's Wasp finding Nemeth, who puts it right down for the Kings. And that'll be Carlson getting the chance to serve now. We are tied right up at 2-2 apiece. We'll see what Carlson has ready to go. He'll send it across. Popped up by Williams. Sent back. Machado puts it right down. Right in the corner there by the that'll be Joshua Budok. He'll decide to load up and get ready to go. getting started, putting it right up. That's Wasp finding Nemeth and puts it down for his second kill to start this one for the Kings. As they're gonna send Nemeth back to serve now after a very strong start to this set for him. Sending it over, popped up. That will be sent to Machado, but it won't be kept in the air, as that'll be the Kings getting the point there, going up 4-3. As Nemeth gets a chance to serve once again, the third year from Red Deer. They'll pop it up, sending it to no one else but Machado, who will put that one right inside of the Kings zone. Machado loads up, saved, sent by Carlson, who will put that one down, and Red Deer brings back up their lead 5-4. And that'll be Owen Langberg, a player we haven't seen yet, the first year. 6'6" from Rocky Mountain House. He'll send it long, popped up by Tice, sent to Williams, who will put it off the hands of a defending Carter Hills, but it won't be enough, and Williams will go back to serve it himself after getting the point for the Trojans, staying right in this one, making sure there is absolutely no way they're going down again like they did at the beginning of the first one. They'll put it up, that's Wasp. And this time, that'll be Carter Hills, not quite able to finish the job, as that'll put the Trojans right back in. Setting up, that is going to be Logan Williams once again. The Trojans now leading by 1. They'll pop it up. That'll be Wasp finding no one else but Carter Hill. Wasn't able to make it work last time, made it work this time. As Wasp will go back now. Only has one service ace on the season. We'll see what he can do with it. Popped up, sent to Tice. And that one will be given to the Trojans as it goes off the hands of Noah Carlson and out of bounds. As now that will be Bonson Essa getting the chance to serve with the Trojans lead firmly in their hands. We'll see what he decides to do with it. As he'll send it across. They'll load it up for, they're not quite able to make it work, and the Trojans go up by 2. As you can tell, they are very much trying to make sure that they can hold on to this lead, as they do not want to be trailing against a very, very strong and powerful Kings squad, who last set and in the previous 3 was able to score at will, but the Trojans have been showing up defensively. That one just ended up going out of bounds as the Kings are back within 1. So that'll be Carter Hills getting the chance to serve now from the town of Legal, Alberta. We'll send it across. Popped up by Williams. Sousey's there. Given to Machado, but they won't be able to make it work. Hills to Carlson. Popped back up. Sent. Wasp. And Wasp was able to find Hills there, who has had a quite impressive 4th set, to say the least, as we are back tied up right at 8. Hills will end up loading up. And he'll send it across off the netting. Williams pops it. He will find Tice, who puts it down. Tice is having an incredible match so far for the Trojans on that front line. As we're going to see DM Amuan go back to serve now for the Trojans. Has done a pretty good job in that role so far in this one. Let's see what he can do here. He'll load up, sending it across, popped up, lost. Amuan finds no one else but Tice. He will be blocked right at the wall by Noah Carlson, who puts that one straight down. The bench will end up going wild, as that is Evan Ackerman with it there from Elk Point, Alberta. He'll send it over, popped up by Tice. He'll find Machado, who ends up putting it on the left corner. And we're gonna see Coach Shula send over Carter Hills to have a conversation with the referee about the fact that Machado very clearly, or at least to the coach, hit the stick sitting out the side of the netting. As they're gonna end up bringing the referees to have a conversation on what they all saw. We'll have to see what the call ends up being, but I do recall seeing that stick on the outside of the netting visibly shaking after that strike by Machado. We'll see what the decision ends up being. Currently the score is 9-9 sets wise. The Kings are leading 2-1. And this one will go to the Kings, as it looks like Noah Carlson was right in what he saw, as Coach Aaron Shula was right to send over Hills to make sure that the refs double check that one. They'll go up 1-0 and send back Ackerman one more time with the chance to serve. He'll load up and fire, sending it across. Williams pops it, put up and put down. Not able to get it across. The Trojans get ready for Carlson, but they aren't ready enough, as Carlson ends up putting it right down in the middle. As now that'll be Evan Ackerman with it now, as the Kings build back up their first lead of the set. Currently up 11-9. Ackerman will send it across, popped up by Tice, sent to Tice, and put down, as he continues to have an excellent fourth set. Showing up when the Trojans need him most. He's going to end up coming out of the game in favor of number 15, Nathan Tice. They get popped up, put down by Buda. Not able to make it work yet. Carlson across. Machado puts it in the air. He'll send it back for Machado. And that one will go to the Kings after it goes out of bounds, regaining their 2-point lead. The score is 12-10.
Serving number 14, Noah Carlson.
Carlson sends it across. Off the hands. Put in the air. Williams put up for Carlson into the netting, as that one he just wasn't quite able to make work, and the Trojans are back within one, as we are going to end up seeing Budak go back for the serve. Budak, one service ace on the season so far. Let's see what he can load up here. He'll throw it up high and send it across. Was he able to find the corner? He wasn't. As that one will go to the Kings, as they are now leading 13-11, sending Colby Nemeth back with the chance to serve. Nemeth across, popped up by Soucy for Essa, who puts it down. and out. And the Trojans are back within one. And we'll see Machado going back to serve now. He's had quite the game so far with a lot of kills. Sent for Hills, sending a bullet, but just a little bit too far, closer to the bench than the court. As the Trojans tie things right up here at rally point in the fourth set. He'll send it over, popped up, given to Hills. He'll tap it over, that's Williams. Puts up for Machado again, but this time they will say it's the Trojans who will get it, saying it went off the hands of the defending blocker. And the Trojans take their first lead since a little earlier in this set. That'll be Machado with it. Sending it across, popped up. And they'll find Carlson. Soucy taps it, diving for it, tapped it again. Essa for Williams. Popped up again. And they'll give it to Hills. Able to keep it in the air. What will they do with it? And they just weren't able to get to it the final time there, as the Kings will tie things at 14-14. Langberg will take it now, the first year from Rocky Mountain House. Sending it across, Williams. Will give it to Machado. That one will go the Kings' way. Blocked at the wall, and they'll get their lead right back. Owen Langberg keeping the ball now. See what he can do with it. Tapped over, and what a play there by number 16, DM Amuan. Putting that one right down, as that'll be Logan Williams. As Jackson Tice comes in for, that was Nathan Tice going off there. Logan Williams will send it across now after the subs. Going out of bounds, Logan Williams has another service ace, his third of the game. That'll be a timeout. It is 16-15 after that incredible serve there by Williams, as he has quite literally brought up his service aces by a little bit more than double. He was sitting at 2 prior to tonight. He now is at 5. Impressive feat to say the least. We'll see what the Trojans decide to bring out here. Leading with a chance to maybe take this fourth set and take us to an overtime final set, which will only go to 15. We'll just have to see if it's necessary, as the Kings obviously will try and ice things. Both teams just a little bit away. We'll have to do that from the fourth set. We'll also have to see what both coaches are able to load up strategy-wise. As that will go to Logan Williams after his ace there. We'll see. Can he pull pocket aces twice? He'll send it over, put in the air. Wasp finds Carlson, and a duo for the Kings that we've been seeing all night continues to shine. As they're gonna send back Wasp with the chance to serve once again after an incredible assist on the strike there by Carlson. They'll send it to Essa, who just puts a little bit too much on that one. And the Kings have their lead back. It's 17-16. Wasp will hold on to the serve. Sending it across. Popped up by Saucy. Put in the air. That's Machado. Popped up once again. Sent to Carlson. Williams in the air. Giving it to Machado again. That one, a little bit too much on that one. And it is 18-16. The Kings 2 in a row. Let's see what the Trojans do to try and stop this Kings offense from running away with this one. Wasp will load up and fire. Sending it across. Popped in the air by Saucy. Sent to Tice. And that will end up going their way, bringing them back within one. The Trojans stop the quick momentum of the Kings on that one, as we're going to see Bonts and Essa going back with the chance to serve. The second-year player will send it into the netting there. A little bit of frustration potentially as the Kings take back their 2-point lead. We'll see Saucy coming right back in. Carter Hills. Popped up by Saucy. He'll try and put it over himself. Williams dives for it. They'll somehow recover it. Tice finds Williams. Carlson with it now. Popped up for... They'll give that one to the Kings as they are at 20. The Trojans are looking in from the outside. Timeout for Grant O'Gorman, head coach of the Trojans. Let's see what he'll decide to craft up to potentially try and get back into this one. Down by 3, not necessarily a big lead for the Kings, but when you only need 5 to win, it doesn't take a big lead to do the job. We'll see what the Trojans can do to get back in this one. They need 8. As the Trojans last year, a very common theme was struggling at home. We'll see what they can potentially do to start to break that trend right at the beginning. But what they have to do before they can win the match is win the set. So as this timeout breaks down, we'll have to see what they can do. As it will be in Carter Hill's hands to see if he can keep on building on this momentum that the Kings have built up, or if the Trojans will make their way back in. He'll send it over, popped up by Williams. Sent over and knocked down. That'll be Wasp finding Hills, and the Trojans are back within 2. This game isn't over yet. As now the Trojans will be giving it to DM Amuan for the chance to serve. He'll send it across, put up, and put down. And it'll go off the hands of the Trojans. And the Kings are only 4 away as the Trojans continue to be just barely on the outside of this one. As Machado off the netting, and it's going to go to the Kings. The Kings as they're going to put this in the hands of Evan Ackerman. Has been an excellent server for them so far. He'll send it across, popping it up. Carlson puts it in the air, sending it to Wasp, and he'll put it down, and the Kings are in within 2 from taking this match.
Timeout call by the SAIT
And we'll just have to see what the Trojans try and load up. Down by 5. The Kings only need 2. As things are looking dim, we'll have to see what they can do. Certainly on the outside looking in. As they quickly leave the huddle. And it won't take long, clearly, to set a clear strategy. That'll be Okerman once again with the serve for the Kings. He's gonna load up and fire and send it across the middle. That'll be Sousey right there. Trojans keep it up. They'll send it across for a free point. Or not free point, a free play. It'll go off the hands of the Trojans, and the Kings are 1 point away. And they'll send it back to Evan Okerman. One more time, potentially, to try and ice this one. He'll have it. Sending it over. Williams pops it up. He'll find Machado, but he won't be able to do much with it. And the Kings will end up taking it. As that will do it here at Rally Point, as the Kings will take it 3-1. A hard-fought match by the Trojans, but weren't quite able to pull it off in the end, as they will fall to a record of 0-3, while the Kings advance to a record of 2-0. As we've got the players of the game quickly starting right up here. For the Kings, definitely a lot of options. I think you either got to give it to Wass or Carlson. Both of them played incredibly. One of them had a ridiculous amount of assists, it felt like. One of them had a lot of kills. We'll have to see who ends up getting it. For the Trojans, I'd probably bet on... Give it to Logan Williams. He had a great game as well.
Trojans are pleased to recognize today's players of the game. From the visiting RDP Kings, number 14, Noah Carlson.
And it feels like I get these wrong a lot, but this one was kind of a gimme. He had an incredible game for the Kings.
Number 7, Joshua.
Didn't get that one right, though, but definitely not a bad pick at all. As another great player there, Joshua Budok, getting the player of the game for the Trojans, and that will do it here at Rally Point. I have been Simon Chaskovsky, and make sure to tune in next weekend, and I believe tomorrow, for more SAIT Trojans action and ACAC action as well. Have a good night.